Hey guys, it's Morgan, and today's video is going to be a book review on Pandemonium by Lauren Oliver, which is the second book in the Delirium trilogy. Now, if you haven't read Delirium and you don't really know anything about it, you can go check out my Delirium book review and I talk about the plot. So if you don't want to be spoiled on Pandemonium, stop the video now. So the chapters go back and forth between then and now, which is kind of confusing at first, but after a while you get used to it. And it just seems like it's two stories in one book, because when you go to read the then chapter, and then you go to the now chapter, it's completely different, so it's kind of interesting. So we start in the now chapter, when Lena wakes up in her classroom after having a dream that Alex was in, and then she tells herself that the old Lena is gone. And then we're at the then chapter where Lena meets Raven, who finds her in the woods and takes care of her. Then Lena meets Sarah, and Sarah gives her food and gives her a tour of the homestead where they're all staying at. And then we're back in the now chapter and we learn that Lena has the symbol that all the cured people get behind her ear, but it's fake. We also find out that Lena's been given a mission by Raven to spy on the DFA. And then we're back in the then chapter, and Lena asks Raven if she knows anything about her mother, but Raven tells her she doesn't. When Lena realizes that it's the day after Hannah's been cured, I felt really sad for her because she basically lost her best friend. Then we go to the now chapter, and Lena finds out that Julian is looking for the invalids. Lena lives with Raven and Tack, who are pretending to be her sister and her sister's husband. We also learn that the scavengers, who are a different type of invalid, want to burn everything. And then we're back in the then chapter where Hunter shows Lena the nests. And in the now chapter, they go to a DFA rally, which is interrupted by the scavengers. Lena follows Julian and his bodyguards and finds his bodyguards dead and hears Julian saying please, and then Lena's caught. And in the then chapter, Lena sees the birds with the red paint on their feet, which means run, and then bombs start falling. Back in the now chapter, Lena asks Julian if he remembers what happened when he was taken by the scavengers. Julian tells Lena that he's been having nightmares, and he's been told that once he's cured, he'll stop having the nightmares. And he asks Lena if she had any nightmares before she was cured, and she says, never. In the then chapter, everyone has to leave the homestead. Sarah asks Lena if they're gonna die, but Lena tells her that they haven't killed us yet. In the now chapter, Julian tells Lena that when he was little, he saw two people kissing. Then Lena tells Julian about her mom. Julian tells Lena that he wants to travel to other places. Then Lena holds Julian's hand. In the then chapter, Raven wants Lena to kill a rabbit, and Lena yells at Raven saying that she thinks she's the only one who knows about loss, and Raven tells Lena that she knows that she isn't. Raven then says Alex's name, which causes Lena to lunge at her with the knife, but Raven throws her off. In the now chapter, Julian tells Lena the beginning of The Wizard of Oz, which was cute. Julian also tells Lena that he had a brother, which surprises her because she never heard anything about him. The scavengers then show up and take Julian someplace. Then Lena realizes that Tack left her clues in the bush. Julian comes back and he's been beaten up, so Lena helps him. Lena tells Julian the truth about her, and he blames her for what's happened to him, and he asks her who infected her, and she tells him to go to hell. Then in the then chapter, Lena and Bram put the mark of the cured on Lena. In the now chapter, Julian wakes Lena up and tells her that she's been saying Alex in her sleep, and he asks her if that's who infected her, and he asks what happened to him, and Lena said that he was killed by Julian's people. Lena and Julian tie up a scavenger and escape their cell. Lena realizes that the DFA are working with the scavengers, but Julian tells her that she's wrong. Lena is about to be killed by a scavenger, but Julian saves her. And in the then chapter, Blue is sick, which upsets Raven because everyone knows that Blue is gonna die. Raven tells Lena that she found Blue wrapped in a blanket in a box and gave her CPR and then ran away with her. In the now chapter, Julian puts his armor on Lena and she asks him if he's worried about being infected, and he says he is, but he's cold too. Julian then tells Lena how his brother died, which made me feel sorry for him. Then in the then chapter, the group bury Blue. In the now chapter, things that Julian is doing makes Lena think of Alex. Lena then attacks the scavengers that are chasing them. Lena and Julian are then caught by people who live in the tunnel. In the then chapter, the group go to a new homestead and realizes that there's no food. In the now chapter, one of the people in the tunnel wants Lena to go up some stairs, but she can't. Julian tells them to leave her alone, but then a woman comes and tells Lena to be still. In the then chapter, Lena, Raven, and Sarah are running from some scavengers and are saved by Hunter and Tack. Back in the now chapter, Lena and Julian meet a woman named Coin, and she helps them find someone that can take them above ground. It's also obvious that Julian likes Lena. Back in the then chapter, Tack and Hunter rejoin the group, and Lena thinks that Alex would be proud of her. In the now chapter, Lena and Julian find a homestead to rest at. Lena realizes that she feels more comfortable with Julian than she ever did with Alex. Then Lena and Julian kiss. But then Lena and Julian get caught. Lena gets taken by a woman who says she's a freedom fighter, which is another name for an invalid. Then Lena is reunited with Raven and Tack. And then it's revealed that Raven and Tack knew all along what's been happening between Lena and Julian, and that the whole thing was planned. They paid the scavengers to kidnap Lena. Raven tells Lena that if Julian leaves the DFA, it'll send a message to all the uncureds that maybe the cure isn't that great. Lena hears on the radio that Julian is refusing the cure and that he's going to be killed. Lena tells Raven that she doesn't hate her, but she doesn't want to be like her. Then Lena leaves Raven and Tack so that she can try and save Julian. Lena discovers that the freedom fighter who saved her was her mother. Why didn't you reveal yourself to your daughter? Lena goes to the hospital to save Julian, and Raven's there too to help her out. Lena and Raven save Julian and then go to the car where Tack is waiting. Lena tells Raven that the woman who saved her was her mother and that she needs to talk to her. But Raven tells Lena that she already left. Julian then tells Lena to promise that they'll always be together, and Lena promises. And then Alex shows up and tells Julian not to believe her. Alex, Lena thought you were dead. What did you expect? Did you expect her to be single for the rest of her life? Thanks for watching the video, guys. Leave a comment below and tell me if you're Team Alex or Team Julian. I think I'm Team Julian. Bye.